Oh, Christy, great. All right. So it's 6:33 on the dot, and I'm calling the meeting to order. Brian Bellamy has been called to a meeting with the county executive, and he has asked me to chair the meeting tonight. Understand that Sherry is also at the meeting with the county executive and that Eva is on travel. Please mute your microphones unless you are speaking. Any guests in attendance should introduce themselves in the chat, listing their organizational affiliation, if any, and providing their contact information. To ensure that we have adequate time to hear from all the commissioners, guests are asked not to speak during ACP meetings apart from invited speakers, though they are welcome to add their thoughts and comments in the chat. For everybody's situational awareness, we have a great deal of work to accomplish today and a hard deadline to end by 8 p.m. So let's start with the approval of the draft meetings for October. On Friday, Logan emailed the ACP commissioners the draft minutes of the October meeting. Does anyone would like to propose any changes? If not, do we have a motion to approve?
I make a motion that we approve the minutes as stipulated for October 13th.
Motion to second?
Second, Terry.
Okay, all those in favor, please raise your hand.
Aye.
Great. Great. And any opposed? Any abstained? So it passes unanimously. Great. I would like to now go through the subcommittee updates. Let's start with the data subcommittee. Sonny?
Hello, everyone. Good evening. So data subcommittee met on Thursday of last week. And here are the updates from us. The bill 3325, the police community policing annual report deadline, we got an email on October 16 from Susan that the report is the police statistical data report deadline has been moved from February 1 to April 1. We had requested it to be April 15, but since it's close enough, we feel like this should be good enough. So that's the first thing that that we would like to propose. And I think, Francisco, I think we agreed for the if the council feels like the deadline is okay, that we will, or Francisco, you're going to send an email response to Susan, right, about this one, and then respond back to the commission. Francisco, you're on mute if you're saying something. Sorry.
Thank you. Along with the agenda, Susan forwarded a draft testimony that we would submit for the November 18th public hearing on Bill 3325. And the draft basically welcomes the move from moving the due date from February 1st to April. As you mentioned, whether it's April 15th or April 1st, we leave it up to the council to decide. And we also encourage in that testimony that the council follow up on the other 4 recommendations that we had in our October 13th letter. That's the letter that we sent on October 13th, signed by the ACP. And so the proposal here would be whether we, as a commission, would like to send forward that testimony to the commission, to the council, to the PSC for their public hearing on November 18th.
Susan has a comment in the chat saying that she can share the proposed testimony here if needed. So I guess we are agreeing on sending the testimony in. Um, do we want to take a vote, Francisco? Or you're on mute again, sorry.
What I'd like to do first is see if anyone has any suggestions, changes to the proposed testimony.
Can Susan bring it up on the screen just to make sure everybody can see it?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask also. This is what you'd sent out on Friday, Susan?
Can you see that okay?
Yes,
Okay.
thank you. Just to make sure that, we're all on the same page.
Sure.
I don't think there's any problems with it. I just thought, take a look at it. Thank you.
It's a couple pages long, so let me know when you want to scroll.
I'm okay with you scrolling.
I'm okay to scroll when you're ready, if Christie is.
Yep. I mean, I think this, I read this when it was sent out and I'm just scrolling back through it again as a refresher. I think that this actually accurately captures some of the discussion that we've had.
Great.
Yeah,
I agree. Oh, sorry. I was gonna say I agree with Christy also.
Mhm. Yeah, go ahead, Lauren. And I concur. My only fear is sometimes if it gets past 2 pages with I think the detail is perfect, but I just hope that they pay attention and read the detail.
I actually think that the way it's formatted makes it easy to, pull the points out. So I am good with the length because of the way that it's, in sections that are clearly labeled.
No, I agree with it. I'm just hoping people just don't look at the bold and go,
Yeah.
But I support it.
Great.
Okay.
So, I don't hear any comments, well, I've heard several comments, no edits or changes. So, can we have a motion to approve to send?
I'll motion to approve the sending of the testimony.
Great. Thank you, Christy. Can I have a second?
Christina seconds.
Thank you very much. All those in favor, please raise your hands. Great. Great. Any Any noes? Right, any abstentions? Great, passes unanimously. Great. Okay, we'll go to the compliance subcommittee and,
No, so Francisco, we have two other.
oh, I'm sorry, I apologize. Yeah, go ahead.
So we have two other things. So the second one that we want to bring to the ACP's attention is we have been exploring alternative methodologies to identifying bias in police activities. And Christy was able to reach out to MSU Academics, and they have two people who are willing to talk to us, to hold a Zoom meeting with us. So we believe, because of the data subcommittee, I think this is a larger than data subcommittee. I think it should be for the ACP to be part of this meeting so that you can understand what the alternatives are there for identifying bias in policing. So we wanted to bring it to the attention of the ACP and see if any of you want to be part of this meeting. Or we recommend that you should be part of this meeting, and we can set up a time, or Christy can work with them to set up a time to do the Zoom meeting.
Yeah, basically it's a couple of researchers that have done a lot of work with the data in the state of Michigan and the state police data. They're part of I can't remember the name of the center, but it might be like Center on Equity and Policing or something of the sort. And they've written a paper on the types of things and demographics they've looked at as they've looked through similar types of data than we've seen.
Yeah, and you may recall that this issue was taken up by the data committee when the issue became where certain Chief Yamada made the argument that census data is not a good, is not helpful in trying to identify bias in police practices. And so we know that academics have looked at alternative methods, and this would be a good way for all of us to learn about a little bit more about that. So the data subcommittee proposes that that the entire ACP, or that the ACP plenary participate in a Zoom session with the MSU academics working on these methodologies. Do we have a motion so we can vote on whether we want to do this or not?
Will this be a meeting that we schedule a date, or is there a date scheduled already?
No,
There is no date. Sorry, go ahead, Francisco.
Yeah, that I was just going to answer that there's no date yet.
Okay.
So I would support the motion.
Can I get a second?
A second with one question. Would it be an additional meeting and it would not be a public meeting, correct or not? Would it be a public meeting, and would that serve in lieu of one of our regular meetings?
It
I
would
don't
have
know how
to-
that,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I don't know how that works. I was just gonna ask Susan about the rules around that.
If we have a quorum, it has to be a public meeting. Since it's a special meeting, it doesn't have to count against any attendance issue.
Oh, okay, great. I mean, maybe what we could also do is see if we could arrange it. It looks like Dr. Brownstein, Henry, you had reached out to John Jay College. Maybe we could even figure out how to arrange it see if there's availability at the same time, if he's willing to, he or she, I'm not sure if would be willing to talk as well.
Yeah,
Christy,
Dr.
do
Dr.
you know
Brownstein,
how
I,
long? Oh, sorry, go ahead, Henry.
Oh, I would contact him if the commission was willing to do it, and whether he was willing to do it. I have provided on the chat one of the papers that he recommended us to read. And at the end of it is it's a lot. It summarizes like an executive summary about what the implicit bias represents, and was very helpful to me.
Okay. Christy, do you have an idea how long the Zoom meeting will be?
I don't know. I had meant to follow up. I've been sick for the last couple of weeks with a sinus infection, so I'm finally feeling better. But I can follow up via email and be in contact with at least the data committee chairs, and we can go from there.
Okay.
I-
That'll be
I- I would hope that it would be our regular meeting if we could give them that amount of time, rather than having to create an extra session for our appearance at this, whether it's a portion of our regular meetings, and being that it's getting close to the end of the year, this may go over into the month of January of next year. And whether we could do it on one session or two sessions, in the amount of time that we have is, I know everybody's time is precious and stuff like that, so these are the things that we have to consider.
So Francisco,
let
I
me
had
check.
second the motion. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, Terry.
Yeah.
Great. So
I had second the motion with the question. So, I just, so we can move ahead with it. I think either way, I think the public would be very interested in it also, and it has relevance to what we're doing.
okay. So why don't we do this? The motion is for a Zoom session with the MSU academics and or the criminal the John Jay College of Criminal Justice academic, to be decided, the date, whether it's done during one of our regular meetings, and we can and whether it's one of our regular meetings, and the duration. So those details are to be decided. Is that fine with everyone? Okay, so all those in favor, raise your hands.
Aye.
All those, yes. All those opposed, raise your hands. Okay, so the motion carries. And we'll just leave it up to Sunny and Christy to work out the details. And to be perfectly honest, the next meeting of the ACP is going to be in December. And so, yes, we may not be able to do it this year. It's scheduled for December 8th.
I'll
so
start
we-
with that. I'll start with that as a proposal, see if they're able to do it then. If they're not, then we can find another time. Henry, if you have the contact information for Dr. Brownstein, and you could send it to me, I can kind of reach out. I'll sequence it so that we can maybe find a time that would work together, and we can
Good.
kind of format an
Absolutely.
agenda around that.
Absolutely, I'll look to send that to you this evening.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Okay.
Great. Sunny,
The last thing that we have is that we had sent in a request to for the list of all the databases that the police is maintaining. We got the compendium list back from the police. It is a 7-page list with brief description. We would have appreciated it if the descriptions were slightly longer. But what we are going to do at the data subcommittee level is to identify the 10 most significant databases that we want to further evaluate and look into. We are just 10 is just a number. If we end up like 12, or the top 10 is what we are looking at. If we end up with 12 or 13, that is fine too. But we wanted to narrow it down from this 7-page list. So each committee member is looking into it. And once we have the list of the top 10 identified, we will send it through Susan to get further information of the database. And once we have that information, we will have either we will present it in front of the larger ACP, or we will do a report of some sort.
Thank you. Okay, I'll move now to the compliance subcommittee. And since Ava is out today, just wanted to let you know that we continue to work on finalizing a document of findings regarding the Maryland Police Accountability Act, and that we would then share with MCPD to get their input. Can we now move on to the school safety subcommittee?
Thanks, Francisco. Our subcommittee met and we did review the MOU. Thank you, Captain Estrada. And we really didn't have any overarching concerns with it per se in the verbiage of the MOU. But we probably need to circle back with you, Sunny, with the data committee, because I need some comparison data. And I know it was late when I reached out to Captain Estrada and Susan, but you know, I want to compare apples to apples. And are those apples the same school districts, like cultures, school districts, same states? And I don't think there's a boilerplate template of the metrics that one should be looking at in terms of what makes a school safe. I know that Francisco, thank you so much, sent information that they are going through public comment now about the SROs. But I think for us to say people are safer with this or not safer with this in terms of the students, the feelings of the families, of the parents, we need to really look at some real data and have, again, compare apples to apples rather than apples to oranges. So I would like a boilerplate template of the data so we can say, this is what the SROs, but before the change in 2022 or 2021, this is what it's like now, and maybe we can compare. I don't think there is a boilerplate template for school safety per se, and the reports I found to be, you know, really long, and you know, it's like you can't see the forest for the trees with it. Sunny, I may ping on you, and I'm looking for feedback from other members of the committee, as well as the public comment is going on now about the SROs until November 30th. So I welcome your feedback, and thank you, Francisco. You're muted, Francisco.
Thank you. I think I better stop muting myself. Let's move on to old business. And we'll talk about the website and public comment language. As agreed at our last meeting, I drafted revised language for our website's page requesting public input for the and for the automatic response. I hope everybody had a chance to look at it. It was sent with the agenda. And you know, if anybody has any comments on the proposed language, I'll take them, and we can discuss it. And I just also wanted to highlight that the proposed language, most of it is pretty, what I say, should not be controversial or anything like that, since it's mostly just making very small changes. The one question that we discussed in previous meetings, whether to include a statement in the automatic responses offering or suggesting that if the person writing the comment is seeking a specific response, seeking a response to a specific problem or a specific issue, that then they may want to share that complaint with the council itself. And so one of the possible additions, and that is to be we should decide as well is whether to add when in the automatic response, when somebody submits a comment, the automatic response would read, "Thank you very much for your input. The commission's mission is to advise the council on policing matters and recommend policies, programs, legislation, and regulations with regards to policing. Your input will help inform our work and the advice we provide the county council regarding public safety matters." Now, this is the language that we can add or not. As an advisory body, the commission is not empowered to address specific complaints. If you have a complaint that requires a response, you may want to share it directly with members of the county council and it's the website. Christy?
Yeah, I was a little confused when I was looking through the language that was sent out. I was having a hard time following which stuff would be the actual final language that would be posted and where. I know that you laid it out, but I was just like, it was going back and forth between the current and the proposed, and I was just sort of losing the thread there. So I'm sorry if I was a little confused.
No, I understand, and sorry for not making it more clear. So the text that you see in front of you, thank you, Susan, is the revised text, and I've highlighted where I made some changes. The highlights are in bold.
So these first two things really are the most relevant. That's what is like going to be the new language. The news that language you're proposing.
Right. And so you will see that the first one is where, and this is where we ask people, it's on the website, when you look at our website, and if you press on the public comment, it will say this: we want you to provide comments, okay? So, and then where it says revised text for comment form. So when you actually try to submit a comment, you will get a form, and the form will say the following. And this is the text that is there now. The only thing is we're highlighting the note. If you could scroll up a little bit more. There, thank you. So that's
okay. That makes a lot of sense. And sorry that I would just, I don't know,
No.
or something. I did have one comment on the very first line on the website. I would just recommend where it says the Commission on Policing was created to advise. I would just say the Montgomery County Advisory Commission on Policing advises the County Council on policing matters and recommends policies, programs, legislation, regulations regarding policing.
Okay.
It just makes it more, clear that that's what we do.
Okay. All right. Any other comments on that portion? Thank you, Christy. I think that those are very good comments or changes. On the revised, so now the member of the public is ready to make submit the comment, and this is what it tells them, okay? So this is just to clarify that we're not the PAB, but if we get a complaint that should be addressed to the PAB, we will forward it automatically to the PAB. Okay, and if you could scroll up. Okay, there we go. And so a little bit more. Okay, and then the final language is when you submit a comment, you will get the next text that says, "Thank you very much for your input. The commission's mission is to blah, blah, blah." The question is whether we want to add the alternative language that is highlighted. As an advisory body, the commission is not empowered to address specific complaints, and so on. And that was suggested during the discussions, and I included that, and I just wanted to make sure that if people want it or not want it, we can talk. Christy? We
I
can
like
discuss.
the addition with a slight modification. I would say something like, as an advisory body, the commission is not empowered to address complaints on specific matters or specific incidents.
Okay,
Just so, like, you know, you're not like getting things like, well, this police officer did this when I, you know, got pulled over or something.
right.
So what, Chrissy, when you say specific matters, specific individual matters or just matters?
I mean, well,
Or
maybe
specific incidents.
specific incidents is fine.
Okay, got it.
And you could add specific individuals, but I mean, I don't know.
The incidents, I think is good. Oh, yeah, you're right. Incident, yeah, incidents, yeah.
Okay, so the commission is not empowered to address complaints on specific incidents.
Involving what? Some people want to know involving police.
Well, well, it doesn't matter. I mean, obviously, people are not going to call us, write to us, presumably about trash collection.
Mhm.
And so I don't, because we keep saying that all we're doing here is public safety and policing. So I don't think we need to clarify that those complaints have to be related to policing. But if you do, but I'd leave the floor is open for other comments. Or if you disagree, please, John. Okay, so
No,
as an
I
advice,
just brought it up because I work with a gentleman. He is so specific about things. I'm like, oh God.
Sure.
So I was like, I have to explain everything. So I just had a long meeting with him this evening. So maybe that's why I'm asking. I'm like, oh my God. So so sometimes people ask me questions and I'm thinking, we don't deal with that. I used to work in the
Right.
post office. How much is stamps? I don't know. I'm just delivering mail, you know, so
I understand.
no,
I understand.
it's fine with me. It's fine with me.
Okay, all right. So as an advisory body, the commission is not empowered to address complaints on specific incidents. If you have a complaint that requires a response, you may want to share it directly with members of the county council. There's the county council webpage that actually allows, it's the contact us webpage, and they can choose either to send it to all of the council members or specific council members. So, so do we have a motion? Any other comments or questions or suggestions? Okay, do we have a motion to approve
I'm
the
making a motion.
language
I'm making a motion to approve it.
with, okay, the motion to approve the language with the changes we just discussed?
Yeah.
We have a motion to approve from John. A second?
Second, it's Terry.
Okay, all those in favor, please raise your hand. Okay, thank you. All those opposed, please raise your hand. No votes opposing. The motion carries unanimously. Next item on the agenda is the update on the Public Safety Committee work session on the ACP. That's and at our last meeting, we agreed that the chair and co-chairs would participate in the work session on December 1st from 9:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. I am drafting a statement for us to present to the PSC before we receive their questions, and I will send the draft to everyone in the commission tomorrow morning. Please email me directly with any comments, suggestions, or edits by the end of the week. And as I can assure you that I have no pride in authorship, so I'll be more than, I would welcome any comments, suggestions, and edits. Letter to the council regarding the public forum. At our last meeting, we agreed that we would draft a cover letter to the council for the detailed summary of the forum. Do we have any updates on that?
Yes, I'm sorry that I didn't send it around to everyone. Like I said, I was sick for a couple weeks. But I don't have a draft to share right at the moment, but if I could send that in the next day or so, to the group, that I appreciate your forgiveness.
And that's, I understand. I think that would be great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, also at our last meeting, we agreed to provide updates on all correspondence sent by the ACP that required a response. One of those was the request for a data compendium, and Sonny has taken care of that. And our letter to the state's attorney McCarthy asking for clarification of remarks at the March public forum was forwarded on November 6th, and we look forward to receiving a response in the coming weeks. For new business, Susan included in the agenda that as part of the department's community informed policing teaching a training module, the newly graduated recruits meet with community stakeholders, and the ACP has been invited to meet with the newest graduates on January 7th from 4:30 p.m. to 5:45 p.m. At our meeting in May, we agreed that it would be good to participate in those trainings. Susan, is there anything else that is there anything I missed?
The only thing I wanted to add to that is it should be a very similar format to last year, but they did bump it up to, I think, 4:30 or so in the afternoon, hopefully to better accommodate people's working schedules. And new this year, they will have several of the municipal police department recruits participating as well. Not all of them, but those typically involve, I can't remember the name of the ones they said would participate, but typically the other municipal departments that use the academy include Gaithersburg, Rockville, Tacoma Park, Park Police, and the Sheriff. So I think 2 or 3 other municipal departments are going to be participating in that. So
yeah, I participated in the last one. John Henry also participated. I forget if anybody, I know somebody else participated. Maybe it was Sean. I thought it was good, and it's an opportunity. I think we were in the receiving end of questions, but I think it's a great opportunity for us to ask the new recruits about their perceptions and expectations for their job, and I think it would be very helpful for all of us. So I plan to participate, and I would encourage others to participate. At this point, is anybody else inclined to participate?
I would like to. I think it was Arthur that came with us.
Okay, yeah, that's right.
Particular meeting. And I would definitely encourage everyone to. They had a lot of questions. They were very looking to hear from us. They were excited to meet with us, which was.
So I'd be glad to participate. So you have a different kind of chromosome there. Okay. So,
yeah.
so I'd be glad to go. That's why I wanted to. It's a Wednesday. It's out in Rockville, right?
Yes.
Got it. Yep. Thank you.
Right.
Can you
Put me down.
can you send the specific date and time out? I would need to check my work schedule and everything.
So,
Yeah.
Susan has put it on the chat.
yeah, it's January 7th at 4:30 to 5:45.
Okay, thank you.
Wonderful. moving on to the next item, Bill 25-4. At the public forum, a speaker urged the ACP to look into Bill 425. Though not specifically mentioning MCPD, the purpose of the bill is to establish a transparent process and safeguards regarding the county's acquisition and use of any new surveillance technology. I'm personally agnostic, but I thought that we should make a decision as to whether we want to take this on. And perhaps Susan can tell us what is the status of the bill and whether it would have any impact on MCPD, if you know.
I don't have a current status on the bill. It had been introduced, and I believe there was a public hearing, but I don't think any public safety committee work session has been scheduled on it yet. It does involve the police department, but it involves all departments, I believe.
So could you rewind again? What's the purpose of this weighing in on this topic for us?
Well, that's a matter to be decided. I mean, I'm not entirely sure, but since it does deal with surveillance technology and facial data recognition, you know, I think that it certainly would could affect you know, how the MCPD's ability to collect data and conduct its surveillance and the equipment that it purchases.
So basically having to do, and then looking at the report that Susan sent out about the vacancies and everything, you know, how to balance the budget when there's all these competing needs, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Understand. Thank you.
So, you know, you know, I think it's sort of an interesting question. My concern is that that the bill has moved far along, and that there's a lot of research that we have to do or to understand how it might impact MCPD as to, and whether we want to say something or not. You know, I may be able to look at it in the next month, but I couldn't. I would not be able to take the lead on it. So, would anyone be interested in following up and making a recommendation to the commission? Okay, I guess we have plenty on our plate at this point. All right, so we'll table that, and unless somebody else decides that we do want to take a look at it, then we'll just table that that particular bill and weighing in on that particular bill.
Yeah, I agree, Francisco. I think it's too much at this point for everyone to have on their plate, as well as you said that, you know, the horse is already out of the barn pretty much. Thank you.
Okay, then we'll move on to the next item on the agenda, and that is
Francisco, I just want to say one item on that.
Yeah.
I think our opinions on that will be fomented when we speak with the professors about implicit bias, on how that might affect that new technology with face recognition and plate readers and that type of situation.
Okay. All right. Okay, any other questions before we move on to the next item on the agenda? The next item is just wanted to make sure that people understood that MCPD is welcoming public input through November 30th on a number of policies, including the policy covering school resource officers. You know, so this is an opportunity. In the past, we have submitted our views on other policies, 3 other policies. One of the policies, we submitted our views past the November 30th, past the deadline, but we figured that that's fine. And so there's still time for us to formulate views and make recommendations on any of the other of these 5 policies: peer support, stress management, training committee, auto theft, and school resource officers. So I just wanted to mention that. If anybody wants to take any of these on, please speak now. Okay. All right. So I think that's pretty much the final item on our agenda, other than the informal holiday get together. That was something that Brian raised at the last meeting. I think it's a great idea. The idea, as I recall, was to do something informal, social, not involving as many of us as possible, but not to discuss any business, rather, but to get to know each other more, better. And I think it's a great idea. We don't have a time or a date, so if anybody has any comments on that, that's great. And any ideas on where to, in terms of venue, that would be wonderful. I know that, you know, the next month or so is going to be very busy for all of us for a variety of reasons, but just wanted to throw it out there.
I think the idea is great, because I think meeting in person when we did with the public forum, we discovered that, you know, there was a camaraderie that comes together when we're there in person. So agree, you know, the holidays, busy time, but I would support it. And I think whoever brought the cupcakes or
Sean.
is that Sean?
Yeah.
So, you know, if the holidays, and my thought, if they're really busy, you know, maybe we can do something, you know, around MLK Day, something like that.
Okay.
Things settle.
Okay.
So.
Any other views? Comments, suggestions? I mean, I think it's a great idea, and whether we do it during the holidays or not, it doesn't matter. I think it'd be great to do it. And I see Christina has sent her own sign of approval as well. Great. And anybody else? Okay, great. All right, so we'll let Brian know then, and maybe we'll discuss this and we'll put that on the agenda. So hopefully we can make a decision at our December meeting. Any other issues that anyone wants to bring up, either for this meeting or for the next meeting? Great. Okay. Well, going once, going twice, going thrice. Okay. So thank you for your comment, Christy, on the chat. So I know we have had a very, very efficient meeting, but since there are no other items to discuss, can I get a motion to adjourn?
I motion to adjourn.
Thank you, Christy. Can I get a second?
Second, it's Terry.
Great. Thank you, Terry. All those voting to approve the motion to adjourn, raise your hands. Great. those,
Francisco, you did a good job, Francisco. Good job.
thank you. Thank
I'm
you
gonna
very much.
I'm gonna tell Sherry and Reverend Bellamy that it's their fault that we always go till 8:10.
No, not at all. Not at all. It's Brian does a wonderful job at these things. Anyway, have a great evening. And you know, be on the lookout for more emails. Thank you very
Thank
much
you,
for
everyone.
all your work.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Hey,
Mhm.
happy
Bye.
Thanksgiving.
Great holiday.
Bye-bye.
Bye.